We're talking about your brand new album, which is called Youth Revival.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get asked this a lot, what the album title's all about.
It's our prayer, really. It's a statement. And I think for me, I am a very nostalgic person, and I look back at like my photos of my parents, and they got saved in New Zealand during like a youth revival. I think it was like the Jesus Revolution or something that came from the USA and made its way to Australia and to New Zealand. And you hear about all these revivals that happened. And so we just, we talked about what this album could do and what Young and Free could be in this generation and how we could make a mark.
It seems that you are really reaching people. I mean, your video clip for Where You Are debuted on MTV.
Yeah.
It's got kind of that 90s club house sound to it. And even the video clip for this song, which we talked about before, seems very nostalgic. I'd like to just a quick whip around and find out what you like about the 90s, because it seems like you guys are doing a lot of throwbacks to the 90s. Michael Jackson.
Friends was my favourite TV show, so still is. Was watching it last night. Ben, do you remember?
I remember the punk rock era.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Celine Dion.
Yeah,
That doesn't fit into that category, but
As you guys keep rising to fame, which you're going to do with this album release, how do you stay humble and how do you keep focused on Christ, keep him at the centre?
each other. That's how we stay
Yeah?
humble. Because
Yeah.
we if it is a sign of like someone's ego, if we're just it's gone.
Yeah.
I think we like having church and having like a home base and that kind of stuff keeps us humble, because we're always back, we're serving, we're doing things, and then I think it's also just being around each other. No one's going to let anybody get a big head, and just keeping the main thing. Like, we're not doing this for ourselves or for the band to get big, but it's always and always will be about like Jesus and pointing people to Jesus. And if that's the main thing, then I feel like we can't get in the way of that.
Well, I'd like to find out your favourite song off the album and a bit of a story behind it.
Alright, my favorite one's Passion.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't know what we were doing, and we were like trying so hard, and like it wasn't working. And then, like Aiden said, like the grace of God came, and then that whole song just lifted up. The way it came out, I was like, wow. Like, we all know we couldn't have done that without like Christ.
There's one song I'm going to share because of the story behind it, and it's a song called Never Alone. And Ben wrote it with another girl in our youth called Tracy. And just whenever she sings it as well, she leads it on the album. But when she sings, I Will Never Be Alone, it just it's very, like, it's poignant, and it's really significant because, she comes from like a difficult circumstance where she was left as an orphan when she was 8 years old. And so her story is so amazing. But so for her to declare, I will never be alone over a generation where there is so much loneliness and where there are so many young people who are going through difficult things by themselves. But to declare that, with Jesus who reigns within our soul, we'll never be alone is really, it's pretty impacting. So I love that.
And Aiden, your favourite?
I would say When the Fight Calls. For so long we were like, we're pushing it to the side, it's not going to work. And then on the day before we recorded the album, like we're like, let's just shift things up. And we got a guy to sing it as opposed to a girl. We changed the treatment, and then all of a sudden just came together, and it ended up being like now like one of our anthems.
One more time, we say